come. Leading the way, Nathalie Tauziat of France, and behind her, the perennial #1, though she comes in ranked number 17, Steffi Graf. 21 Grand Slam titles to her credit. And Elise, she has played very well this week, I'll tell you what.
She's played so well, and of course she had the big win last night over Martina Hingis. Interestingly, Steffi Graf has had those injuries but has come back so well.
Here at the Villanova Pavilion, this is where the Villanova Wildcats play their men's and women's basketball. 5,500 expected, capacity crowd on hand, and we are on the main line, as they say in Philadelphia. And the players now going through the coin toss. Chair umpire Missy Malloul of Hilton Head, South Carolina, tossing up the coin. Who won, Elise?
You're always putting me on the spot.
Here's the bio on Steffi Graf. She's 29 years of age, turned pro in 1982. Her tour rank currently is 17th, but that's what happens when you have injuries. She resides in Brühl, Germany, and in New York City. A match record this year, 29-8. She has 2 titles to her credit and $300,000 in change in earnings.
Of women's tennis.
And Nathalie Tauziat of France, 31 years of age. She turned pro in 1984. This is her highest tour rank ever at 9. She resides in Bayonne, France. And you may recall she was this year's Wimbledon runner-up. Her match record, 41-22. 5th in wins this year, but she has no titles to show for it. Her 1998 earnings, $856,000 and change.
Please welcome from Germany.
Elise, when you look at the draw for this tournament, what sticks out?
Well, of course, Graf's win over Martina Hingis last night. 6-love in the third. Nobody wins a 6-0 set from Martina Hingis. But then you look at Nathalie Tauziat's draw, very difficult. She had to beat Anke Huber, Lisa Raymond, and Amanda Kutzer. 3 top 20-ish types of players, and that's a great run through to the semis.
It sure is. Steffi Graf, 29-8 this year, and as mentioned before, 21 Grand Slams. This is her road to the semifinals, Elise.
And you see Mary Jo Fernandez in the first round, always a good win. Mary Jo also has had injuries just like Steffi, but is always a good match to get you in a good groove, get you prepared for the rest of the tournament. To have to play a Mary Jo in the first round is very tough.
And here's Nathalie Tauziat's
And then you
road.
see that tough match against Amanda Kutzer, 6-4 in the third. Good win for Tauziat, and of course the win over Raymond in the second round also. Raymond at home, big win.
All right, in just a moment, we will have semifinal round action between Steffi Graf, Fraulein Forehand, and Nathalie Tauziat. Back in a moment from Villanova. Here, and Elise Bergen, when you look at Nathalie Tauziat and you see what her record is against Steffi Graf, which is absolutely amazing. She has not only dropped all 20 matches against Steffi, but has not won a set. How do you prepare for that?
You say nobody beats Nathalie Tauziat 21 times. It doesn't happen. So that's a pretty awesome statistic right there. But don't count Nathalie Tauziat out this match. She is a different player than she was in most of those matches that she lost to Steffi Graf earlier in her career.
Why so?
In these last few years, she's become a complete player. She uses the whole court. She volleys very well. Early in her career, she didn't come in that much. And there we see Missy Malou, who is the chair umpire, a very good umpire, so I don't expect to see too many controversies out there today. Not that either one of these players are controversial.
No. We should be all set. Steffi Graf has won the toss. She elects to serve to Nathalie Tauziat. Semi-final round set to begin here at Villanova. A little bit later on, we'll be bringing you the other semi-final match between Lindsay Davenport and Monica Seles. But for right now, Steffi Graf to serve.
There we were talking about just what Nathalie Tauziat has learned to do. Come into net, very short swings, likes pace. He's going to try to take that ball early, especially on Steffi's second serves, and come in.
Love 15. Steffi Graf has come off numerous injuries. In fact, she had wrist surgery after the 1998 U.S. Open, and she said herself after last night's win over Martina Hingis, she was stunned.
One of the biggest shots in the game, Steffi Graf's first serve, high ball toss, like serving indoors, doesn't have to deal with the elements.
Nice.
That's the Graf backhand that people underestimate, but on this surface, the supreme surface, that backhand stays low. She slices it, and that's a biting shot.
And Steffi Graf takes the first game. She leads 1-0 first set over Nathalie Tauziat of France. Back in a moment from Villanova.
Find a seat quickly, please. Nathalie Tauziat, sir.
Welcome back to the Havana Championships. Michael Barkan along with Elise Bergen. Nathalie Tauziat in the far court with her first attempt at service to Steffi Graf. And as we mentioned at the top of the program, Tauziat has yet to beat Steffi Graf, and that's a double fault. First of the match, love 15. So Tauziat struggling right off the bat with her serve, Elise.
Nathalie Tauziat's going to feel pressure to get a lot of first serves, and she wants to get that first serve in, get into the net, and try to force Steffi to hit passing shots. Because if she gives Steffi those shots at that second serve, Tauziat will be on the defensive and doesn't have a shot in that instance.
Tauziat, big splash this year when she got to the finals at Wimbledon. 15-30. Finals of Wimbledon, losing to Yana Novotná 6-4, 7-6. She's played in 44 Grand Slam tournaments, but has yet to win one of them. Not easy to do.
Nice to be in a final. I would have taken that. And
You
that
got
really
close.
was coup de grace to her career, getting to the finals of Wimbledon. I think the rest is gravy.
15-40. Graf leads 1-love. First set. This is the 6th time that Tauziat has appeared in the Advana.
There you see Tauziat serving to Steffi Graf's backhand. That's the side she wants to get to. You've got to get to Steffi's backhand if you want to beat her. But that's not easy either because, of course, she's so fast and likes to dominate that court with her forehand.
What do you do when you're struggling like this off the bat on your serve? Steffi Graf.
Vintage Steffi Graf.
She leads 2-0.
You see Tauziat on the defensive. Graf, control of the court, makes no mistake with that forehand winner.
And it's got to be tough if you've lost 40 straight sets to an opponent to come in and say, you know what, this is the night.
Steffi Graf mixing her first serves up. Tauziat doesn't like the call.
I couldn't tell. The ball's between me and the line. I'm going to have to go with her call.
Missy Malul saying if the ball's between me and the line and I'm obstructed, I'm going to have to go with the linesperson's call. 15-love, Steffi Graf. This is the 5th time that Graf has appeared here in Philadelphia. She's won twice.
That's what Tauziat wants to do. Force her way into the net, get in, try to hit that volley. But when the ball's coming with as much pace as Steffi Graf gives you, tendency to make those errors. You've got to get used to the pace.
There we go. 30-15.
30-15.
Nice forehand winner.
Here we see now Steffi Graf going cross court. You should usually hit those approach shots down the line so you can cover that pass. That's tennis 101.
Thank you very much. I need all the help I can get. When you look at Steffi Graf's road here, I mean, she's tiebreak in the 2nd set in her first match, then 2 3-set matches. So she has really wanted this. Nice forehand there, Elise. As Graf goes up 3-love, first set, and we're back at Villanova after these messages.
Time. Thank you. Quiet, please.
Nathalie Tauziat serving to Steffi Graf. She trails 3-love. Graf looking to move on to meet the winner of the Lindsay Davenport-Monica Seles match. That'll be a little bit later on Comcast Sportsnet.
Critical game for Nathalie Tauziat here. Cannot get down 2 breaks this set. Got to get her first serve in. She's got to control the tempo more. Steffi Graf. You saw it all there, her great movement, covering those shots from Tauziat, and then the big forehand.
15 all. We were saying before the match, we saw Nathalie Tauziat about 15 minutes before the match. She was just reading a book, taking a stroll around, and I thought, doesn't look like a game face on. But with Steffi Graf.
It's very French.
Téléphone.
Oui. Michael, before the match, I asked Nathalie's coach, I said, well, what's the deal with her playing Steffi? And he pointed to his head, right to his head, and said that she admires Steffi so much that she's never really been able to get over that. And if you want to beat someone, you can't be an admiration society.
Nice cross court by Tauziat. 30-40. Steffi Graf last played here in 1996 and lost to Yana Novotná 6-4 in the first set, and then she retired because of a back injury. Nice forehand there.
Tauziat steps into the court on that point and drills that ball to Steffi's backhand side.
Of course, 1 week after losing to Novotná and retiring due to a back injury, she just happened to win the Chase Championships. So in fact, Steffi's won the Chase Championships 5 times. This is the second to last tour stop of the year for the women.
Well, Steffi's just getting more confident. Obviously, since beating Hingis yesterday and now as this match goes on, so confident in that forehand. And when she gets on a roll, she plays so fast. Nathalie Tauziat needs to try to slow Steffi Graf. You see that great footwork. That's where she loves to hit that forehand, from the backhand corner.
Deuce. We mentioned the Chase Championships, and that is the top 16 players in the world. There was some thought that Steffi might not make it, but she is in. She'll face Yana Novotná in the first round.
That is Nathalie Tauziat's best shot, the backhand down the line, and in my mind, that's the shot she'll need today if she's going to challenge Steffi Graf. Takes it early. Steffi likes to cover her backhand side. She leaves that forehand open, and she dares people to go down that side. If you can do that effectively, you can stay in a match with her.
And another deuce.
But if you're going into that Graf backhand, you better get it all the way over. Here you'll see Steffi. She covers 3/4 of the court with the forehand, gets around, great footwork, and hits that pass. Not many people can do that.
She's 1 point from the game to go up 4-love. Steffi Graf takes the 4th game. She's now 2 for 4 on breakpoint opportunities. She leads 4-love over Nathalie Tauziat.
And Tauziat feels so much pressure. Well, what do I do against Graf? I want to come in. Steffi's got good passing shots. The pace of Steffi's ball, especially indoors on this Supreme Court, is very difficult for Tauziat when she comes into net. So she's up against it, as they say.
We just showed a graphic said Steffi's won one title, at least one title for 13 straight years. That's.
She's only 29, you know. To us, that's young.
Love 15, but yet we feel that maybe this is, you know, she's at a crossroads here. She's had the injuries.
Possibly a bit of a swan song, but
another nice cross court by Tauziat.
Taking the ball early off of Steffi's serve, coming in.
30. Love 30. Steffi Graf, you better be prepared.
Well, it worked the point before for Tauziat. Taking Steffi's serve and coming in. Not enough this point. Great footwork from Steffi. Comes through the backhand. That's something we don't see very much from her, but we see that when she's playing good, confident tennis. And that's what we're seeing now.
15-30. And just like that, 30 all. Graf leads 4-love in this first set. Semifinal action here at the Pavilion at Villanova University.
Huh.
40-30.
Must be nice. You get down love 30, come up with some big first serves. That's what Steffi Graf does so well.
Just like that, Steffi Graf goes up 5-love in this first set. When we come back, Nathalie Tauziat will be serving to stay in the set. Nathalie Tauziat serving to stay in this first set in the semifinals of the Advantage Championships here at Villanova, facing Steffi Graf, who is ranked 17th in the world. She comes in unseeded.
Don't let that fool you.
Oh, well, it's not fooling Tauziat, that's for sure.
That's a great return of serve. Keeps it low. Tauziat coming into net behind that serve. Steffi uses the pace of her serve and just chips it back nice and low.
15 all. Steffi Graf, second place all time behind Margaret Smith Court with 21 Grand Slam victories. Smith Court has 24, but her most recent win, Steffi's, is 96 in the U.S. Open. Nice forehand cross court by Tauziat, 30-15.
Of course, she's had the injuries to deal with. And what's so remarkable is how after coming off of the knee injury, then has had minor wrist surgery, she's just playing such confident tennis and is really match tough. I thought it would take her many more matches to be this tough, but she's playing the big points well. Of course, she is beating someone like Martina Hingis yesterday. Wins in Leipzig last week. It's remarkable.
And there it is for Nathalie Tauziat. Her first game of the match. 5-1, and Steffi Graf will serve for the first set. She leads 5-1.
And that is an important game for Tauziat. At least if Steffi holds here, Tauziat gets to serve first in that second set. She would like at least to have that advantage.
What?
15 love. At what point as a player do you write off a set and say, okay, I'm starting fresh with the next one and let's not worry about this one anymore? I mean, she's down 5-1 now with Graf serving.
The answer to that is the great ones never write off anything, because you always think you can come back and you never know what's going to happen. That's the great thing about tennis. You don't know what's going to happen. That person you can twist your ankle. Who knows? They could go into a mental funk. So you always stick in there. You always stick in there because you win a couple points, you win a couple games. That can throw your opponent off. Just always stay in there. You never know.
30-15.
Now, if it's a 3 out of 5 match and it's 150 degrees and you're
I was going to say,
on red clay, that's different. But indoors on a Supreme Court, you can stay out here all day. Just you fight every point.
30-15. Steffi Graf has the forehand going, has the serve going. She's 1 point from this first set.
Making it look easy. Great court coverage.
That's out. 40-30.
That was a very ambitious forehand because Tauziat's return was very deep, and Steffi going for broke, and why not? Set point. 5-1.
There's the forehand winner, and there is the first set for Steffi Graf. 6-1. She takes the first set from Nathalie Tauziat. And we are back at Villanova. Welcome to second set action here. Steffi Graf with the backhand winner down the line. She took the first set from Nathalie Tauziat 6-1. And if Tauziat can take this set from Graf, it'll be the first time ever. Big backhand here, Elise.
Steffi Graf coming through the backhand. You know she's confident when she comes through the ball. She likes to slice that backhand.
Tauziat has never won even one set in 20 meetings against Steffi Graf.
Would you like to make a prediction?
I'm hoping she gets back into this thing. You know, we want to see some tennis here.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a courtesy to the players, a reminder, please no flag.
What's happening? She doesn't match up well against Steffi Graf. Graf is liking the pace off of her serve. Steffi moves so well, especially on this surface, that the pace is just too much for Tauziat.
First service, 15 all here. Second set just underway. (30-15). Does it get frustrating just never having won against an opponent like Steffi Graf?
Of course it does, and you don't walk into a match like this confident, because, as I said earlier, Tauziat has this great respect for Graf. She has of course, Nathalie Tauziat, being 31 years old, has played with Steffi for the last 12, 13 years and appreciates her greatness, which we've seen with some of the younger players who haven't been around that long. The respect level isn't the same. And someone like a Tauziat has great respect for Graf.
Another forehand winner for Graf. 40-30 here. It's funny, she was asked about that last night with regard to Martina Hingis, because Hingis said maybe her time had passed. Steffi said that doesn't bother me one bit. And the overhead from Nathalie Tauziat as she takes the first game of the second set. Maybe there's a change in the wind as we continue our semifinal action here at Villanova. Comcast Sportsnet's coverage of the Advana Championships semifinal action. Steffi Graf has taken the first set handily, 6-1 over Nathalie Tauziat of France. Michael Barkan along with Elise Bergen here at the Pavilion at Villanova University. And Tauziat has won the first game of the second set. Steffi Graf serving now, game number 2. This is the 6th appearance for Tauziat here in Philadelphia. And when you look down at her history, it's round of 32, round of 16, round of 32, round of 16. This is the furthest she has gone in this tourney.
Graf getting all the way around. That's the corner she loves. That forehand from the backhand corner. Devastating shot. Hit with so much pace.
30 love.
That's what shocked Martina Hingis last night.
We're 30 minutes into this match. And if Nathalie Tauziat can keep it going another 30 minutes, I'm sure she'll consider that a plus. When you talk about tune-ups, Elise, Chase being next week, how much do these players really count on this tournament? Use it?
Well, if you look at the history of this tournament, every year has at least 10 of the top 12, 17 of the top 20, the top players play this event, trying to prepare themselves. And also, this event there are usually a few players right on the precipice of getting into the championship, so a lot of those players that are right on the brink need this event, need the points from this tournament.
1-1 now in the second set. Tauziat to serve. She took care of Anke Huber of Germany in the first round, Lisa Raymond of nearby Wayne, Pennsylvania in the second round, and Amanda Kutzer in the quarterfinals. Kutzer was a 3-set affair, 6-3, 4-6, 6-4. Love 15.
You see the depth of Steffi Graf's shot there. The return very deep, staying low, pushing Tauziat behind the baseline. Very difficult to get anything going when your opponent has you pushed that far behind the baseline. Opens her shoulders, turns those hips and shoulders on that backhand. That is her best shot. Steps into the court. She does have to take advantage. Anytime she gets a short ball, she's got to take advantage of it. And she did right there.
15 all.
Great coverage from Tauziat. Steffi Graf got the return of serve low. Tauziat had to volley up. Steffi got around the forehand here, but watch Tauziat cover. Right on it. Uses Steffi's pace. Not too big of a swing on the volley.
40-15. The last time these two played was last month in Leipzig, Germany at the Sparkassen Cup, where Graf, of course, won 6-3, 6-4. And Tauziat takes the second game of this set. She leads 2-1. Second set action.
Tauziat leads 2-1.
Steffi Graf serving. Fourth game of the second set. She trails 2-1.
Oh, Tauziat wants that one back. Set the point up so well. Got a gift from Steffi and missed it. It's almost too easy.
15 love. Tauziat, by the way, 2 for 5 at the net so far. 12 unforced errors.
30.
Steffi mixing that serve up, using the wide one. Here she goes down the middle.
40 love.
Great extension on that serve. Goes up after it.
Steffi Graf, #1 for 186 straight weeks from 1987 to 1991.
40-15.
She double faults there.
That, of course, is remarkable, but of course she's going down as one of the all-time greats.
Graf evens up the second set, 2-all. Can you give us some sense of that backhand slice and how difficult?
Well, if you watch that point, you saw the big forehand from Graf pulling Tauziat off the court there, and then you've got that off-pace shot off the backhand. It's so difficult when you have the heavy shot, the heavy forehand, and then the slice backhand. Makes it very difficult for a player to get accustomed to what's coming at him. Very hard to get grooved against Graf.
Tauziat serving. Love 15. We mentioned earlier Nathalie Tauziat, this year's Wimbledon finalist, her first Grand Slam final in 43 attempts. She lost to Yana Novak.
Without the Wimbledon, it was a very good career. With the Wimbledon, it's a great career. Icing on the cake.
Just turned 31 years old last month.
There you see what a good first serve does for you. Pulls Graf off the court. Got the easy return, the short ball. Took advantage of it.
15-30. As far as serves go, Tauziat have some pace on hers. $15-40.
She doesn't have a lot of spin on her serve. What she does is she has a hard, flat first serve that she likes. She likes to hit the off serve, which not that many players like to hit as much. Could be more effective with the slice. That one was pretty good. But with Tauziat, she's a very quick motion, and it's the pace of the serve because she doesn't hit much kick, especially her second serve is fairly flat also.
30-40.
Steffi Graf still at break point. It's her 5th opportunity to break serve in the match.
And that's what I mean by the off serve. That serve to Steffi's backhand. Hard flat one. Gets it back to deuce. Very important game for her to hold. Stay on top in this set.
Steffi Graf has only lost once this year on carpet. 9-1.
What?
Advantage Tauziat. How much difference is this surface from hard court, for example?
Huge.
Much faster?
It's definitely faster. The ball stays much lower. I think it's one of the best surfaces to watch tennis on, especially women's tennis. Picks up the pace of the game. Here you see
4th
her,
double fault for Nathalie Tauziat.
and you don't want to do that after you've come back. You're down 15-40. Bring it back to your ad. The one thing you don't want to do is serve the double fault. But wasn't positive with that serve. Kind of fell back. Got to be positive. Thinking forward. Taking her chances.
Steffi Graf tries to get to it, but it's well out.
Advantage Tauziat.
Here's a look at Tauziat's backhand.
Very smooth shot, comes under the ball. Good hip and shoulder rotation. One of the best one-handers in the game.
And another nice cross-court volley. She has approached the net very nicely today. Nathalie Tauziat leads 3-2 in the second set. Tauziat leads 3-2 in the second. We mentioned Graf's record on carpet earlier. Tauziat on carpet 13-5 this year. 722 winning percentage.
Behind the ends. Behind the sequence.
This is what you do when you play Steffi Graf. You hang in there and you hope that she'll start to make some errors because when she starts to make errors, she usually does it in bunches. So you just stick in there and maybe she'll make a few errors in a row and Tauziat can get that break. That's what she's got to be thinking.
Love 15. When I watch Steffi Graf serve, and I think of the perfect, most elegant tennis serve that you can imagine, I think of her serve, the way she throws that ball up with such grace and that pause before she makes contact with the ball.
Well, it's a very high ball toss, and indoors it is so effective. But outdoors, when it gets windy, the high ball toss can hurt you sometimes. And here we see Tauziat going up 30-15 in this game, taking that second serve, using Steffi's pace on the backhand. Watch Tauziat step in, doesn't take a big swing here, uses the pace and follows it right into net.
You see in the replay, Graf has her hamstring wrapped.
30.
She's not happy with that serve. It's 30-all. She has her hamstring wrapped. She paused during last night's quarterfinal against Martina Hingis and left to have that wrapped. So she's got the knee, she's got the wrist, she's got the hamstring.
Don't we all wish we could be so good with so many injuries?
I'll take it.
obviously not affecting her. She is moving beautifully today.
But after she had the wrist surgery after the U.S. Open, I almost felt that, well, at least now we know, because she was dismissed rather easily by Patty Schneider of Switzerland, and she was very upset, obviously. Nice drop shot by Nathalie Tauziat, and it's now deuce.
First time we've seen that all day from Tauziat, and usually you don't get much of an opportunity to hit that shot against Graf, but this backhand a little short from Steffi gave Nathalie the time to hit that drop shot. Caught her off guard.
Advantage Graf. Tauziat coming in for a look. It's not like clay.
Well, you know Steffi's not going to look at her and say, oh, hey, it was in.
Steffi's like, what do you...
No. Doesn't work that way.
It's as if she's saying, what do you expect me to...
You think I'm nuts?
Call it in. Advantage Graf. C'est dommage, mademoiselle.
Oui, oui. Your French is pretty good, Barkan.
Yeah. And Steffi Graf ties up the second set at 3 games apiece. We are on serve in the second set.
French there, getting that left cord.
Here's another look.
Oh, isn't this nice? So easy. That's what you call a delicately placed backhand.
15 love. Steffi Graf with the power. 15 all.
Well, anything that short to Steffi Graf's forehand is history. Steps into that ball so well. So much pace, so much power. Great hip and shoulder rotation, knee bend, the whole thing. Kind of like you.
Got it all. Got it all going.
There you see a tentative serve. And that's all part of the intimidation when you play a Steffi Graf. The point before she hits that huge forehand, you start to feel pressure. Another double fault.
5 double faults now for Nathalie Tauziat.
Now, of course, she's treading dangerously, down 15-30 this game. Got to hold serve. 2 in a row. Now, if I'm Nathalie Tauziat, I'm going to take my time. Bounce the ball a few times. Don't get right back up to that line. Steffi Graf likes fast play.
15-40. And it's right there, right on the line. And Steffi Graf comes back to win 2 straight games, and she leads 4-3 in the second set. We'll be back in just a moment from the semifinal round of the Advantage Championships. Back live here on Comcast Sportsnet. Steffi Graf serving to go up 5-3 in the second set. Trying to make it 21-0 in matches over Nathalie Tauziat of France. Tauziat, this year's Wimbledon runner-up. release. What a point.
Watch the movement, but that's 2 points in a row. She hits that delicately placed backhand over Tauziat's head. Watch the movement. Covering everything. She can't believe it.
Here's Steffi's reaction.
Steffi can't believe it. And that was a forehand, by the way. I get forehands and backhands confused sometimes.
And the crowd here loving it, giving her an extra added ovation. She's a fan favorite the world over, and certainly here on the main line. .30 love. We're 53 minutes into this semifinal match. Tauziat playing nice at the net.
Not much more she can do. That's what she does well. She does cover those volleys well. Just using Steffi's pace. Good agility. Right there, making it look easy. But it's hard.
.30-15. As we mentioned, the I guess you can call it the featured match still to come. Lindsay Davenport, the top seed, top ranked in the world. That's long 40-15. Steffi Graf, she's 1 point from going up 5-3, and Lindsay Davenport will be playing Monica Seles. That'll be the 4th time the two of those players have met. We'll have that match for you too at 7 o'clock. And that is wide or long as well. And Steffi Graf now 1 game from the match, as Nathalie Tauziat will serve to stay in this semifinal match. .55 minutes in. Steffi Graf. We'll take another look. My colleague Bud Collins has long called her Fraulein forehand, and that's why. She's got the power. Love 15. On the line. 15 all. Next week, Nathalie Tauziat will be playing in the Chase Championships as well. She'll face Natasha Zvereva. Another one, another ace. That's her 3rd ace for Nathalie Tauziat. 30-15. And it just clips the net. 30 all. Last year here we mentioned Tauziat's match record at the Advana. She lost in straight sets 6-3, 6-3 to current #1 Lindsay Davenport. 96 also a round of 32. First round loss to Zina Garrison Jackson. That was in 3 sets. That's long. 40-30. And Tauziat now a point away from pulling to within 1 game here in the 2nd set. just wide. And Nathalie Tauziat holds serve. She trails 5-4 in the second set. Steffi Graf will serve for the match when we return.
Time.
Back at the Villanova Pavilion here on the campus of Villanova University. Steffi Graf took the first set 6-1. She is serving for the match now, leading 5-4 against Nathalie Tauziat of France. That one clips the net. If for some reason Tauziat sends this to a third set, it would be the first time. Steffi Graf is a perfect 20-0 against Nathalie Tauziat. "40 straight sets Graf has taken from Tauziat. Not one has even gone to a tiebreak. Steffi Graf again with the lob. It's working for her tonight. 15 all. Nice little touch lob just off the baseline, and Tauziat watched it fall in. 15 all. Giving Nathalie Tauziat a gift, and Tauziat sending it wide.
30-15.
Graf had the forehand, and you might have thought she was going to put it away. Here's Tauziat coming in on the approach, and she stepped back off the ball just a touch, and it goes wide. 30-15. Steffi Graf, 2 points from this semifinal match. Another great point between Steffi Graf and Nathalie Tauziat, and it is now double match point for Steffi Graf of Germany, unseeded here just last week, played in Leipzig. Beat Tauziat there, took a plane, and here she is. And that's it. Steffi Graf continues her march through this tournament. She takes care of Nathalie Tauziat 6-1, 6-4, and has now won 21 straight matches, 42 straight sets over the Frenchwoman. Now, who will she face in the final? Will it be Lindsay Davenport or Monica Seles? We'll have that match for you later, but right now, Steffi Graf handing it quite easily. 6-1, 6-4 over Nathalie Tauziat. When we return, Elise Bergen with the winner.
The hum of the soar, the
More look at match point as Steffi Graf takes care of Nathalie Tauziat in straight sets. She is now one match away from her third Advana title, and she's with Elise Bergen right now. Elise?
Thanks, Michael. I'm with a very popular champion, Steffi Graf. Steffi, you've been through so much this year. How does that make you appreciate the good things that are happening now?
Oh, well, I'm extremely excited to be back and be playing the way I've been doing in the last few weeks. It's been a pretty tough ride, but I seem to be hanging in there and doing pretty well.
Do you feel that with each match you just get more confidence?
It certainly looks like it. I mean, I'm enjoying myself out there. I mean, it feels great to be physically in a good shape and not having any problems. And I seem to get better match by match. And yeah, it's been going really well.
Were you at all surprised at how quickly you are coming back?
No question. I am very surprised by it. After the US Open, I did have a wrist surgery, and it only took 3 weeks for me to be back on the court, and another 2 weeks to be back playing tournaments. So that was very quick and unexpected, honestly.
Well, it's been a great comeback. Now, talking about tomorrow a little bit, the finals, it'll either be Lindsay Davenport or Monica Seles. Your thoughts about that?
Yeah, very different from today's match. Nathalie attacked a lot, came in on a lot of shots tomorrow. I think it's going to be a lot more baseline rallies. I think it's going to be important to try to battle for every point and hang in there, be patient.
Does it make it fun in tennis today? There is that great mix of experience with some of the older players, and then you've got the exuberant youthful players also.
Yeah, it's been extremely exciting for women's tennis the past 2-3 years. There've been a lot of players, new players coming up, very aggressive kind of players, and like you said, we still have players that are maybe a little more familiar with the public, but you know, some very different styles, and I think that's going to be great for the future of tennis.
Absolutely. Well, you're playing great tennis. Good luck tomorrow. Steffi Graf giving the fans their money's worth. Michael, back to you.
All right, Elise, thanks a lot. So Steffi Graf, 6-1, 6-4 over Nathalie Tauziat. We send it back now to our Comcast Sportsnet studios. Recently, I had the opportunity